Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Saturday edition of New Distributor Training. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZJ International, and it's my pleasure to be the trainer today. I'm pretty excited about what we're going to do today. We're going to be focusing on a couple of the skills that the brand new distributor really wants to start becoming comfortable with, and I'm going to be joined by a few of our top producers in ZJ to share some of their thoughts on this on these concepts. But first, what I want to do is I want to welcome all of you. I noticed I have a list of people that are attending the webinar that I can see, and I noticed we have several of our top performers with us. We've got some brand new distributors. And actually, what's really exciting to me is there's a lot of people whose names I don't recognize, which is kind of a sign of what's happening with ZJ right now. Last 45 days or so have just been stunning for the company. Enrollments are up incredibly high. Volume is up. Rank advancements are going out through the roof. And so this is a very exciting time to be part of ZJ International. What I want to do first is address those of you that are brand new distributors. Maybe you've just gotten started, maybe just this week, and the person that you're working with, or maybe one of your upline support team members, directed you to this training, and I'm very glad that they did. We do this on a Saturday, every Saturday morning. Myself and several of the other team members, we kind of swap off the responsibility. And we share different topics. Each Saturday is a different topic, all fine-tuning the kinds of things that a new distributor will want to focus on in the development of their ZJ business. But the training title, the webinar title, New Distributor Training, it's kind of a misnomer. It's not the new distributor training, but an ongoing process of helping raise the level of skill sets and vision and so on. What I do want to do right now is, especially if you're just getting started with us, I want to do a couple of things. First of all, I want to encourage you to plug into your upline diamond support team. Today, this information, it's just not for our organization, it's for all of ZJ. And we know that there are many, many leaders out there that are providing specific information and resources and tools to their individual organization. So first and foremost, I encourage you to plug in with your upline diamond leadership. One of the things that happened to me, and it was probably the most critical ingredient to my long-term success in this profession, back in the mid 80s, that's decades ago. I was a cross-country truck driver, and I did not know anything about sales, marketing, network marketing, team building, any of those things. But when my very first sponsor in my very first company was already a $1 million earner, and I'm not trying to tell you I'm just some dumb truck driver that got rich. I'm a smart guy. Here's what I figured out. I figured out that my sponsor already had what I wanted. He had financial abundance and time freedom to be with his family. The other thing I figured out is my sponsor wasn't going to make any money off of me unless he taught me everything he knew. So I brought to the table the most important ingredients for success, not just in our type of business, but anything, quite frankly. I brought to the table, good work ethics. I've always been a hard worker. I brought to the table a willingness to learn. I was highly coachable. I knew that I didn't know how to do this, and I was smart enough to understand I should follow the successful people. And then the third thing is I had a burning desire to succeed. My reason for being involved in this industry was to provide the financial resources that were necessary for my son as he entered school age. I have a special needs son. And also to have the time freedom, the flexibility in my schedule to be with him as he was growing up. And because of that initial launch in network marketing, because I was able to work with people that had already demonstrated they were professionals, they knew what to do, I was able to literally retire in 10 years. And by the time I hit my mid-40s, I had already accomplished what most people take until their 60s to accomplish. Now, one of the things that I recognize is not everybody has direct access to, you know, $1 million earner. So what I've done is I've put together a few little training videos that I really encourage you to check out. These are available to everybody. It's on my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, what I think I'll do here is just throw the address into the chat box. If you're on your cell phone, just tap your screen. You'll see a little chat little chat icon, and you can open up your chat box. For those of you that are using the chat feature, just be aware that you have two options when you're chatting. One is to direct your chat just to me. The other one is to direct it to the entire team of people that are watching right now. This is my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/, let's try / my fingers aren't moving quite as good as they normally do. We'll try that again. Where's / there it is. Fred Holmes Zija. Now that'll take you to my YouTube channel. Now there you're going to find archived you know, all of the webinar trainings, presentations, that sort of thing that we're doing as a team. Thursday night business presentations that myself and other team members conduct, Saturday morning trainings, they're all archived there. You will also see a playlist tab there at the top of that YouTube channel. I'll just put in the direct address, www.youtube.com / Fred Holmes Zija / playlists. Now, when you go to that link, there's only one playlist there right now. It's called New Distributor Training. There's 4 little videos there, and I really encourage you to take a little bit of time and review those. That's kind of like the prereq, if you will, for being part of our regular Saturday morning training. Get the foundational components to, you know, new distributor training underneath your belt. The first video is 30 minutes long, and it's a synopsis of what I learned in my career in network marketing, in particular with that very first company. That company has historically been recognized as a company that's provided some of the highest level training in network marketing to its distributors. That company, by the way, when I joined that company, it wasn't a very large company. It's gone on today to do, last year I believe that company did over $4 billion in sales. And so, you know, I think that probably speaks for the kind of training that was provided. But that 30-minute training, that will give you exactly what the brand new distributor needs to know. What do we do and how do we do it, the system. And if you understand what it is we do to be successful and how we do it, just that 30 minutes is going to give you an advantage over probably 90% of the people that ever have been involved in a network marketing business. Now, there'll be 3 more little videos on that playlist. They're about 10 minutes each. Those 3 videos, you know, combined would be what I would call the fast start training. And for those of you that are just getting started, this is really important to understand. Getting off to a fast start in your new business is actually the easiest way to build a long-term business. You'll just, you know, there's many reasons for that. We're not going to go into that right now. Yeah, you know, kind of just by my story, if you will. It is easier to get off to a fast start than a slow start. And so those 3 little videos, they encompass that fast start training, how to create a prospect list. But rather than just writing down a few friends and family members' names, how to build a prospect list that can literally start you out with, you know, 80, 150, 200 prospects, and it's doing it the way the professionals know how to do it. How to create your story, to understand the concept of developing your Zija story and how important that is, and then a 90-day game plan. And what I can share with you folks is everything that I teach is what I've done. And the information in that little, you know, I mean, what, total maybe 60 minutes of video. The information there is what's empowered me to start Zija International, what, now 11 years ago, I believe. I started with the biggest package we've got. Within 2 weeks, I was already in profit. Within 2 years, I'd achieved a 6-figure residual income. And the third year with Zija, more than doubled the first 2 years combined. And I'm not sharing that with you to be impressed with me, because quite frankly, you shouldn't be impressed with me. You should expect I'm going to do well. I've done this. This is my third company that I've been successful in. But the reason that I've been successful is I learned a simple system and I followed the system to the letter. And I had those 3 magic qualities that'll create success: willingness to work, willingness to learn, burning desire to succeed. So you've got that underneath your belt. What I want to do today, last week, if you were part of last week's webinar, or maybe you picked it up on the YouTube channel, you got the recording of it, we talked about one of the most important skills for a new distributor, which was the connection call protocol. How to introduce your prospective distributor, or customer for that matter, to your upline support team member. And one of the comments I made is the people that are moving the fastest, building the best businesses, are the ones that are doing the most connection calls. And we use the term connection call because, you know, in the old days it was telephone calls, right? They're using the 3-way calling feature on your phone. Today, a lot of what we do is using the Zoom platform for video conferencing. Many of the initial connection calls that my team members are doing with me are done via, you know, video conferencing. It's a much more powerful way to introduce your prospect to the people that they'll be able to work with if they sign up with you. Now, the preliminary part of that, and once you get that new distributor training, you'll get this, you know, 3 steps to the system. The first one is inviting somebody to look at what you have. The second step is presenting information to them. And the third step is, you know, validating the potential of the opportunity by connecting them with an upline. 3 steps. I call it invitation, presentation, validation. Some of you may have heard the terms peak, pass, plug. Pique their interest, pass them some tools, plug them into an upline. It's the same system. I use invitation, presentation, validation as my terminology because the words make more sense to me. That's the only reason. But it's the same system. Now, today I want to talk about those first 2 steps. Okay, last week we talked about the third step, validation, or plugging them into an upline, how to do that effectively. Today we're going to talk about steps 1 and step 2. I want to talk about inviting people to take a look at what you're doing, and using presentation tools. And I've got a few people that have joined me that have you know, agreed to come on today to share a little bit about what they're doing, because I'm a firm believer that the more successful people you hear from, numbers of people, the better off you are, because you're going to want to have input from lots of people. Now, a couple of preliminary things, and then I've got actually Candace Smiley has volunteered to join me and share a couple of her thoughts on this. For those of you that are part of our ongoing process here with the Saturday morning training, Candace is not a stranger to you. You all know Candace. I'm very excited to have her joining me on this particular training. But I want to give you a couple of things. I encourage you, grab your journal. Okay, this is something that's really important to do. I picked this one up very, very quickly, 4 years ago or something like that, to start archiving the information you're gathering. Much of what I teach today was gathered 30 years ago, because, you know, techniques will change from time to time and so on over you know, the period of time as technology changes, but concepts remain constant. Concepts are always going to be consistent over the ages. I mean, you know, concepts like, you know, be kind, right? You know, speak with integrity, you know, mind your manners, right? You know, obey your parents, you know, give respect to your, those kinds of, you know, if you will, the Proverbs, right? The 10 Commandments, if you will. Those concepts remain constant over, you know, over all time. Techniques will change from time to time, but I encourage you to have something that you can use as your journal. When I first started, These were my journals, spiral bound notebooks, you know, because they were really cheap even back then. I mean, especially back then, they were really cheap. I think you could get like 4 of these things for $1 or something. Now my journals are really fancy leather bound things. You know, they got the little gold foil pages you know, like your Bible, that little ribbon thing. You don't have to have one of these. What you have to do is you have to get your Zija business going so you can afford to buy these by the dozen, right? And I always keep a few around for the next time when this one runs out and ready for the next one. So let me give you a couple of quick concepts. I'm going to ask Candace to come over and share some of her thoughts. Understand that in our business, the highest value activity is developing a consumer base. Now, that's all we do, okay? Let's be very clear about this. Network marketing is simply a business model, a distribution model to develop a large consumer base. And the larger your consumer base, the larger your business, the larger your paycheck. You can go get one customer at a time and then get another and then get another. You know, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. A higher value activity is in the development of distributors, people that will join you in your business and allow you to help them develop their business. And if I start with one new person as a distributor and I help them get their first 2 distributors, and then I go and help them get those 2 get their first 2 distributors, now I've got 4. And if I do that one more time with that 4 distributors, teach them a simple system and how to get just 2 people working with them in their business. And when I do help those 8 get their first 2, I now have 16 distributors on that 4th level. And when this was introduced to me, I'm thinking, this is magic. This is incredible. Don't have to go out and recruit 1,000 people. I could recruit one person, teach them a simple system, and help them get their first 2. And if I do that process by having that leverage, 2 × 2 × 2 × 2 is 30 people. And if you think about that, all I did was start with one person, help them get 2, then help them get 2, then help 2 × 2 × 2 × 2 is 30. Now, that's 30 distributors. Every distributor is also a consumer. I use the products, you use the products, your distributors will use the products. As distributors, we tend to be higher value consumers because we tend to use more of the products, right? I mean, every distributor knows that. I mean, we're familiar with our product offerings, the different product divisions. We tend to consume more than an average customer. And I can go from one person in a very short time to 30 people consuming the product. And if I simply have each one of those people get, you know, 1 or 2 friends on the product as customers, I went to 60 to 100. As you can see, the value of network marketing is creating a business that has a tremendous amount of leverage. And so being able to engage in that process of developing a new customer is a very important part to taking advantage of the leverage that this business model has. Now, a couple of quick points for you, and then I'm going to bring Candace on. When you invite somebody to look at your business, okay, and it could be, you know, a family member, maybe a coworker, you know, a friend from church, you know, a buddy on the softball league or the bowling league, whatever whoever the person is, especially in the beginning, it will typically be somebody that you have some personal relationship with, some familiarity with. And so one of the key ingredients to success is to be authentic, okay? Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Be yourself. These people know you. If you start talking like, you know, for instance, if you use my exact words or Candace's exact words or Pam's exact words, they're not your words. And this is why it's so important that, you know, everyone wants to know, well, what do I say exactly? Don't say exactly what I say, because what I say would work well with my contacts because they know me. You start talking like somebody other than yourself, you're probably going to scare them, all right? And be authentic. One of the things, I was taught this many, many years ago as a young man, and it served me well throughout my life. Three ingredients to successful life: honesty, integrity, and authenticity. Honesty is doing the right thing. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody notices. Okay, it's easy to do the right thing if somebody's watching you, right? Integrity is doing the right thing if nobody notices you. And then authenticity, just be you. You're going to be the best person that you can ever be. There's nobody that's going to be as good at being you as you. So be authentic when you speak to them. Now, personally, I suggest these things, and it comes from having a warm market approach, people that you know. Make sure your invitation is prospect oriented, meaning who is the person you're talking to, and invite them to look at your opportunity based on something that's important to them. Not everybody wants to make $1 million. Okay, for the backbone of Zija distributor base is people making that $200 or $300 a week, that $1,000 a month, that could change people's lives. If you're speaking with somebody that would maybe like to have that extra $1,000 a month, work it into their life, maybe that's enough to have one of the parents stay home with the kids. Don't be talking to them about making $1 million. Base it upon their interests, okay? Make it focused on what they want. If they're making a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of time freedom, and that's pretty typical. People in higher levels of income typically don't have much of a life in terms of time freedom and flexibility. Then take that and focus on, don't tell them, am I making a little extra money? Talk about creating a lifestyle that can sustain their level of income but have more time freedom. Okay, make it prospect focused. Number two, make it permission based. I never tell people I want to tell them about my business. I may say something like, I found a way that retired folks are making, an additional $10,000, $15,000 a year to add to their retirement without having to get another job. Would that be something you'd be interested in? Okay, here I'm talking to a retired couple that I already know they don't have the money to enjoy their retirement the way they had hoped. So I make it based upon something they would need, and then I ask their permission. Would you be willing, would you be interested? And I want to hear people say, yes, tell me more. Okay, because then I'm prospecting effectively. Now, just a couple thoughts. I have a couple more, but I want to bring on Candace right now. Candace, a little heads up, I'm bringing you over to this side. For those of you that don't know Candace Smiley, she's one of our top leaders and trainers, one of the most sought out people for presentation. Candace, I just brought you on. Let me get your camera. I probably should have made sure I had a thumbs up from you. Candace, let me know if you're good to go. Okay, now I've got your mic on. I just need your camera. Candace, are you with me?
I am, sir.
Okay, can you come on camera with me?
Yeah, just one.
All right.
See if I can figure that out.
Let me, you may want to get just a little bit closer because I'm not hearing you real well.
Sure.
Let's see here, product focus. Oh, and for those of you that are watching the chat box, Lorene does an excellent job of captioning the things I say. I'm tempted sometimes to just have her do the audio part, and I'll just move my mouth. Candace, we can come back to you here in a little bit if that'd be better for you.
Why don't you do that? I don't know why my video isn't working. Give me a second. I'll get that sorted.
Okay, no worries. I've got another group that I have to do right at 10:30, so I'm going to go ahead and transfer you back, and then I'll check in with you here in a little bit. We'll let her go back. I'm going to be bringing on, let me just make sure they were able to make it. I was able to get, let's see, Pat, Terry, and Mac McDonald to join me. Let me see if they're on here. They had a really busy, tight schedule this morning, and I told them I would try and get them exactly on. I don't see them at the moment. We'll hold off for a little bit on them. Let me give you another quick thought here, and then we'll see. I also have Pam and Charles Foster with me today. They are just hitting it out of the park. I'll tell you what, this couple is on fire. You're going to love hearing from them. But I want to give you another thought, okay? We want to talk about ways to introduce people. Now, so far I've been talking about the direct approach, calling somebody up, or maybe visiting with them over coffee or whatever, and inviting them to look at your business. Now that's kind of a direct approach because you're letting them know that you're talking to them about making money. Here's an indirect approach. And this might be something that would be effective for you with people that maybe you don't feel you have the level of credibility that would get their attention. Example, younger person approaching a more mature person. Note how I didn't say older, because I'm one of those guys. Maybe it's your boss from work. Maybe it's the father or mother of one of your friends. So you're now talking to somebody that's literally the age of your parents. Or again, somebody maybe has the status that you consider to be that you can't really do, your boss. All right, how are you, if you're the new employee or the line employee, how do you approach your boss about telling them how to make money? It's an indirect approach. Similar situation, contact them, utilize your understanding of what their situation is, but ask them if they would be open to helping you. And you younger fellas, let me just give you a little hint. Asking an old guy like me if I could help them, all old guys want to do that, right? We see ourselves being able to provide, the mentorship to the young fellas, and so on, all of that. So leverage that, take advantage of that. And so ask them if they would look at what you're doing and give you some suggestions, give you some advice. Or here's another one. I don't think it would be for you, but you might know the people I'm looking for. Takes a little bit of that pressure off. I've got Pat, Terry, and Mac McDonald. They just let me know they joined. They're on a really tight schedule. Folks, for those of you that don't know this couple, they are Zija superstars. Mac, how are you, my friend?
Fantastic. How about you, Fred?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so pleased you were able to break away. They're leaders on the leaderboard in terms of production. They've got an incredibly successful team. Mac McDonald and his wife Pat Terry have been in this industry for many years and been incredibly successful. Bring a wealth of knowledge and information. I learn stuff from these folks. I sit at their feet studying, okay, because they're so cool. I want to hang out with them because they're the cool kids. But hey, Mac, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know you got meetings going on in your place, and thanks for joining us. What we wanted to do today, I was hoping to have different input because, I'm not that guy. I just do what I do. But you've done so well over the years, both with Siege International as well as in previous companies. Our topic today is, how to invite somebody to look at the opportunity and then use a presentation tool. Maybe you can give us an idea of, one or two of your favorite introduction comments and a tool that you use.
Well, there's so many different approaches, and I was just listening to you, indirect approach, and certainly that's a fantastic one because, you're only going to get people to come to look at something for their reasons. It's not for your reason. Yes, you could have that approach to say, I got a hold of something, I'd like you to evaluate it for me to see if somebody would be interested. Now that would be for your needs, but I like to find the person's need. So, if somebody, let's say somebody was a semi-tennis pro, and they had an issue where they couldn't get on the court anymore, and I wanted to help them get back on the court. I could call them up and say, hey, John, you know how you like to play tennis, but I understand you can't anymore. And he would say, yeah. I said, do you want to get back on the tennis court? Oh, absolutely. I says, well, I think I got a hold of something that just might help you. Would you take a look at it? Well, yeah, I will, but what is it? Well, it's about you getting back on the tennis court. Yeah, but what is it? No, it's about you getting back on the tennis court. Do you want to get on the tennis court or not? And it certainly says, yeah, well, then come and look at it. So that's satisfying somebody's need. And I've used that over and over for people that want to fire their boss or whatever. You offer them opportunity to come and look at it, but it's got to be for their reason. It's not about Zizia. It's not about me. It's about their need to come and look at something that will satisfy their need. I just sat down with a man who owns a very successful business. And I talked to him a little bit, probably 10, 15 minutes. And I said, you know, I'm just impressed with you, how you're going through. You created this business. You've gone from 1 truck to 36 trucks. You got all these employees. I mean, you are hitting it. And I'm just, you inspire me. He says, yeah. I said, so you're happy as a lark. Well, yeah, no, I got these employees. And that's tough. And certainly I don't have the freedom. I mean, you got more freedom than I got. And I says, oh, so you're interested in having more freedom or finding a different way to generate another income stream so you may be able to get some freedom? Well, you may want to look at what I do. And so if you would, here's a link, but I'd rather sit down with you and just show it to you. So again, you found their need. Even though you think they're very successful, they're probably frustrated with where they are. The other one I like to use today is CBD. And CBD is a great lead-in, and all we really are looking for is people that want to play in the CBD market. So I may start a conversation with someone. I know I had a financial planner, and I says, hey, what do you think of the CBD market? He says, hey, everybody's investing in that. I've got people looking to invest in that all the time. I said, well, if you could play in that market, you know, it's already 500 million. If you could play in there and be part of that explosion without investing a whole bunch of money, but just a little bit of time, where you could capture maybe 10% of a $20 billion market, would you take time to look at it? Well, certainly they're going to say yes if they're in the financial planning area. But CBD is the ideal one to do right now, is find out what people think about CBD and say, would you like to earn some of the profits that are going to be realized in that marketplace? I might be able to show you exactly what that would be, because you take time to sit down and look at it. If you want know a little more about it right now, here's a video, and I just do the N-Tunes video that Zizia provided for us, and let them look at that. If they want to know a little bit more, then the next one I would be with Pat Anderson and Dr. Ben Bauer. But use the tools, but get their interest, know what their interest is first, and then help them. Just that one question: if you could get what you want, would you take time to learn about it? Because that's all about them.
That's powerful. See, folks, now you understand why Mac and Pat are doing so well, because they are true professionals. They're focused, lasered in on what to do. Mac, I really appreciate you taking time. I know you got you're like a 3-ring circus going there this morning. We so much appreciate you, buddy. Give my very best to Pat, okay?
I sure will. Sorry she can't be on, but she's taking care of business for us.
I understand. TCB, do the deal. Thank you, Mac. We'll see you, buddy. Mac, head over to the other side there. And so one of the things, folks, and you know, sometimes you know, because of the results that I've gotten, the financial results with our company, people think I'm pretty special. And I got to tell you, I'm about as average as the day is long. The only thing that's special about me is I associate with very successful, very professional, knowledgeable people. It's, you know, I have to tell you, the top producers in my personal organization, they work circles around me. I mean, yeah, I learn more from my downline, if you will. And so hopefully this is also the kind of thing that's helping you, working with you. And that's why I asked a few people to come over. Now, I got the word that Candace might be ready to join us here. Oh, this is interesting. I've got 2 different accounts open here for you. I'm going to take the first one. Let's see if, I'll tell you what, Candace. Oh, there we go. I got you now. Candace, it was in 2 slots. All right, Candace, we're going to bring Candace over here again. Go ahead. Hey! Ta-da!
Ta-da!
And see, one of the other things, and I'm going to get a lot of backlash from this. One of the other reasons that it's a good thing to be able to be a Zija distributor is look at all the pretty ladies you get to hang out with, Candace, you make me look real good hanging out next with you.
That's the plan, right?
First things first, happy birthday, my dear.
Thanks.
I saw that pop up somewhere on my phone. My phone pops up all kinds of information I don't pay any attention to, but I paid attention to this.
Yep.
So let me see if I've got this. You're what, 26, 27?
No, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I do feel like Zija makes me age backwards, so we're good. We're just getting.
There you go. Exactly right. So
Yeah.
listen, thanks for taking a few minutes on your birthday to come and join us. As you've been listening, we're talking about invitations, how to invite people to look, and then presentation tools, a particular tool or two that you really like to use and how to use that tool. So share with the folks some of your thoughts.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Fred. It's a real pleasure to be on. This is fun. I get that it's work. And to that end, I was thinking about this morning as we got started that, number one, you have to schedule time to get it done. And I was thinking about that, as a busy mom, and I know a lot of people are listening, they want to do it, and they maybe even they're making notes this morning on what they would say, and you got to schedule, right? Have your daily method of operation, but what is scheduled gets done. And, I've got things that are right down to the minute, and some of the things that I'm saying, it's not what I'm saying, it's that I'm actually listening. And I'm an introvert, and I say that because I hear a lot of times people say, I'm an introvert, I can't do this, I don't know if I'm a people person. And I'll be honest, Fred, one of the things I love most about this business is we can do it right here. I can be in my home, you can be in your home. I'm in Canada, you're in California, and we make this business happen because of applications like this, whether it's Facebook, online, etc. And really, whether it's warm or cold market, it's like Pat said, you got to listen to what someone is saying, speak to their listening. And I think if someone walks away from this meeting and thinks, hey, I'm going to listen to what people are saying and then tailor what I'm sharing to that listening. And that, I think too, Fred, requires that people stay plugged in. If they're not staying plugged in, then they are not going to have, that's the easiest way to get excited when someone says, I'm not very excited about my business. I say, when was the last time you got on a call? Because if you were on a call or a Zoom, or whether you were on the YouTube channel, which is one of the things that I use all the time, because people want to watch videos, they want to watch something that's 2 to 4 minutes long maximum. I use the Zija blog because I can literally go in there and search and find what it is that person said. And I'm actually using the new Zija International website. Of course, I use my replicated website all the time, but I don't know if you've checked it out recently, Fred, but they have done some things. The Zija difference is there. The Zija blog is there. It's under the Learn tab. Hey, people, go check out your website. It's amazing. I'm actually copy and pasting that and sending it over there. When someone says, what's the benefit of being a member? I say, hang on a sec. Let me share with you. Let me share with you directly from the company. Do not reinvent the wheel. Head over to Fred's website. I had a gal who was over there that day and going, oh my goodness, there's a video that Fred has that I'm going to use to share with my dad because I haven't been able to find that thing to pique him and he needs to take this. So, if you're looking for something to spark you this week, check out the tools. And those are really the tools that I'm using, Fred. I'm going straight to the company themselves. I'm not reinventing the wheel. And I'm just listening and then giving that person whatever that they need to see that and go, oh, I can see myself in this presentation that you're doing.
That is so good. And I got to tell you, I don't know if you folks have been noticing when Mac McDonald was on, now with Candace, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be a clue. If I'm taking notes on what they're saying, what should you be doing? Candace, you are so awesome. And here's a good example of what our business is supposed to be about. Folks, I've got decades of experience in this industry. I got grandbabies that are almost I got children that are a decade older than you are, and I'm taking notes from Candace Smiley. What should you be doing, folks? Candace, thanks so much. I hope you have great time on your birthday. Thanks again, Candace.
Thank you.
We'll see you. let Candace go back and enjoy the rest of her day. And folks, this is really kind of a good example of what we do in our business. First things first, our business works around our schedule. Okay, while there are people like myself who this is my only business, you know, I would be considered full-time. It's not full-time. I care for my elderly mother with dementia. That's my full-time deal. I work from home, just like Candace was saying. We've got so many different modalities. I choose this modality because it allows me to be anywhere literally in the world with a moment's notice and do it from the comfort of home. And, you know, Mom right now is about, I'm guessing, you know, what, maybe 12, 15 feet from me here, just on the other side of that door. I do have ladies that help me during the day that are here so that I can do this kind of thing. But we work ZJ around our life. For many people, this part-time enterprise has become their full-time income, yet they still have that flexibility and that freedom to work at their time. You know, imagine not having to ask the boss permission to be able to you know, leave work to attend your kids' you know, recital at school or whatever. Okay, these are the benefits of our business model. Now, I've got a couple of dear friends of mine that are going to join me right now. I've got Pam and Charles Foster. And for those of you that don't recognize that name, Pam and Charles Foster, it's almost kind of like, you know, they came up from the back of the pack and passed the leaders. They have been rank advancing. I mean, you know, just the last couple of months, they went gold and then, you know, platinum and I believe now emerald. Let me see if I can find them here. I'm going to bring them over because obviously with at the pace that they're growing, they have a lot that they can share in terms of, you know, their activities and what they're doing. And let's see here. I've got you on here. Are you coming on? There we go. Oh my goodness, you're in the car. How are you?
I'm great. Can you hear me?
I'll hear you just fine. And once
Okay.
again, we can do this anywhere, right? Now, what I really
Oh.
want to do is see you doing that underwater in the pool. I want to see how that works with your cell phone. Okay, so maybe we can't do it anywhere. Pam, thank you so much for taking time to join us. I know you guys got activities and stuff going on. Today we're talking about, you know, those first two skills. You know, how to invite somebody to look at the business, and then the presentation, which we absolutely don't want to be the presenters. We want to use the tools. You and Charles have been growing so fast. Obviously, you got the deal down. Maybe you can share with us, you know, one of your favorite invitations and a tool to use and how to use that tool.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us. I am in the car. Charles just ran into the next appointment. We're out and about just like everybody is. And appreciate you having us on. And happy birthday, Candace. I love that people can stop where they are and just do our business part-time, full-time, whatever they need. And so y'all have already said it so eloquently today. I mean, it is about the person that you're talking to. It's all about them. And if you are just listening wherever you happen to be, if you're you know, at a restaurant or if you're at a party or wherever you are, you're just gathering intel. And then the tool that has helped us more than anything, and you all know this, is the connect calls. I mean, that is what triggers, and the reason I say that is because anybody can, you know, invite someone to take a look for their needs, but we are looking at down the road how when they ask us and they say, you know, or if they at one point say, I want to do it as a business, but I couldn't do a business, I don't know what to say, then you can immediately say back to them, how did we connect? What did we do at the beginning? All I did was bring my friend Fred on, or my friend Mac, or my friend, you know, and we kind of got some information to you, and I sent you a tool, which was, you know, whichever tool that you love in your tool chest, you know, a video. The company has tons. And so based on that need, then they're like, oh, and then it's simple, guys. We have to keep it simple and we connect. That's the key. And when you can do that and empower your people to do the same. I remember one time when we were first starting, nobody even knew how to do a connect call. And we all pulled out phones and we were texting each other, calling each other, and just practicing so that it would be comfortable. you know. So it's just like Zoom. How do you get on Zoom? You practice with people before they get on so they know what they're doing. And so the connect call, make it simple, but that's the key, Fred. I mean, it's yes, listening, it's yes, inviting them for their reasons, but as soon as you do, guys, connect a story. Just connect a story is what we're doing, and it gives validation to you and to that person, and then we help them come aboard however they want.
You know, that is so powerful because you're really hitting on an important point. You know, practice, yes, but do the deal. You know, a fella that I've known within Zija for a long, long time, he made this comment, and it was so apropos right now. You're going to have to be bad at this before you can get good. And you're going to have to be good at this before you can get great. And so, you know, for a brand new person, if they want your paycheck or my paycheck, they're going to have to do the same things we did in the very beginning, which is be bad at it at first, keep doing it. Eventually, you're going to get good at it. Keep doing it. Eventually, you're going to get great at it. So, listen, I so much appreciate, especially the whole presence of being able to stop for a minute in the car, jump on a webinar, be able to do the deal. 5 minutes later, back on doing whatever you're doing. Pam, thanks so much. Congratulations on the success you and your teams have been having. I mean, you know, it's very envious of the productivity that you've done. You're an incredible member of the team, and give my best to Charles. Tell him he's good too. Okay.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We love you guys.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
ya. Okay, we'll let her go back. So, folks, we've been covering the essence of the most important ingredients of what we do in the business. And in retrospect, we maybe did this Saturday and last Saturday backwards, because last Saturday we were talking about what Pam was just talking about, the importance of the connection call. Taking your prospect that's, you know, been invited to look at what you're doing. You've shared one of the presentation tools, so they've got a little information, and then connect them to somebody else. You know, typically it's somebody that's part of your upline support team, or maybe it's a cross-line support team, somebody that's had more success, more experience, because they're going to carry more credibility with your prospect than you might be carrying with your prospect. That was that was our topic last week. This week we're talking about the first two steps. How do you invite somebody? You know, and each one of the team members that shared a little bit, they gave you their perspective. That's why it was so important to me to have multiple voices for you, because, you know, I'm going to be the first person to tell you, there's not anything particularly special about me. I learn from the members of my organization. I'm just a guy that you know, I learned a simple system. I followed step 1, step 2, step 3. I just did a lot of it. And I was really bad in the beginning, but then I started to get good. And the better I got, you know, I eventually got to great. And then by the time I got to Zija, I'd actually been retired from the industry for a number of years, was starting all over again. I had to develop a brand new prospect list. I didn't have any connections from, you know, a decade earlier in the industry, but I knew the simple system, and I'd already learned the skills. Anybody can learn this if you're willing to do the deal, if you're willing to take the time. And I tell people, you know, if you think about it, the average person's going to spend, you know, 12 years in school up to high school. Many people spend another 2 years in college, or 4 years, or if you're going to get a professional credential, maybe 6 or 8 more years. And if you're going to be a doctor, then you got to spend several years in, you know, apprentice, you know, practice internship. And you know, what if it took you a year or 2 or 3 to create a Zija income that would blow away all of those people? Because you know, I make more money than my accountant, I make more money than my doctor, I make more, you know, but look how many years that they've spent. Is it worth the time to get involved and build a business? I think many of us will tell you it was well worth the time. So, got just a couple of minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and open up for any questions I might be able to answer. Now, for those of you that have been following the webinar chat box, Lorraine has been doing an absolutely incredible. I'm thinking maybe I should be paying you. She has this unique ability to caption, if you will, all of the elements of the conversation. And so I'm hoping that many of you have been reading or what she's been commenting. If there's a question, I'm gonna kind of scroll back through here, reach into that chat box and put in a question. Let's see. Oh, Mary was saying that the weather's beautiful in Washington State. Oh, Paul and Marlene, welcome from Belgium. I appreciate you folks staying up late for us. Is it late? Early? I don't know. Thank you for joining us from Belgium. Let's see. Yes, I agree, Danielle. And Fred, thank you. Danielle, did I tell you? Danielle, the board said, happy birthday, gorgeous, to Candace. And then she said, and Fred, thank you. You're looking handsome as well. Danielle, if I told you you're my favorite. Hey, listen, 2-minute miracle gel. Good stuff. Let's see here. Calling you next. Know your tools. I think all the questions were answered here. A couple quick things for you folks, and then we'll go ahead and close down this session. The YouTube channel that I've set up, I'm going to encourage you. Get subscribed to that and get there's like a little thing you can click for notifications. As soon as I post these videos, you'll get a notice. And I mean, I click post, and then my phone lights up that, Fred Holmes has just posted a new video. That's one way that you can keep plugged in to what we're doing. As I said before, we want to always keep everything we do generic for all the benefit of all of Zija. I absolutely encourage you to plug into your upline diamond leadership. Always get a question, well, I just got started. My sponsor is brand new. They don't know what to do. I don't know who my upline diamond is. Folks, there's many ways to get support. I guarantee you, every single one of you has somebody that's very interested in supporting your efforts and helping you develop at whatever level you wish to be. In your back office, you can see a leadership support link. I don't have the title off the top of my head. Lorene might be able to do that. Or you can call distributor support, and they will put you in touch with your upline leadership. In many cases, there will be people that are part of your upline support team that won't show in that list because they're not a direct connection, but they're very interested. I'm going to tell you right now, probably close to 50% of the people that are in my pay line aren't directly linked to me, and I support them. And there's many other people out there that are willing to do the same. So get plugged into your upline leadership. Take full advantage of all the things that myself and other team members are providing to you. Here's a great example of an upline leader that provides support materials for all of Zija. Pat Anderson. Pat Anderson is one of our top 10 earners, got one of the fastest growing organizations in the company. Many of you plug into Pat Anderson's product presentation on Wednesdays. You can go to her website. It's www.clubmoringa.com, clubmoringa.com. And I'll bet you if I look here, Lorraine's already put that. There you go. She's already on top of that. www.clubmoringa.com. You can access her Wednesday night product presentations. You can also access the link to my Thursday night business presentations from that website. Lots of resources there. I encourage you, if you're interested, you can be part of the team email list that I put together. Go to my personal website. It's fredholmes.com. Click on contact, and then at the bottom of the page, you'll see where you can enroll in the newsletter. Okay, and so certainly do that, and then you'll get periodic emails announcing of different events and that sort of thing. So one last check and make sure I didn't miss a question. Yeah, Lorraine, you're just so cool. Uh, all right, folks. Well, listen, I hope you've had as much fun as we've had today. Next week, we've got, it's cycle 2 of period 140, folks. 7 more weeks to qualify for the inaugural ZEJA 1 Leadership Conference in October. Get a hold of the person that's one of your upline support team members. If you're not familiar with this, all I can tell you is you absolutely want to do whatever is necessary to qualify to be at that event. That will be the most significant part of building your ZEJA business that you can be involved in this year. I can say that hands down because I know the people that'll be there, and I know the kind of training and support and information you're going to get from that. You have 7 weeks left, okay? That's really weird. 2 fingers on this. 7 weeks left to qualify, and every single one of you can do it, and it's the easiest path for the brand new distributor. All right, so with that, thanks so much for all of the participants today. I appreciate your time and your support to the organization, and we'll go ahead and call it a day. This will be posted to my YouTube channel here a little bit later on this afternoon. Look forward to Wednesday night, Health Talks with Pat, Thursday night, Biz Talks with Fred, and Saturday morning new distributor training a week from now. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks. Take care. Oh, and happy Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Tried to throw that in. See you later, folks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.